Hello and welcome. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. We are the MBLEx review course. I am Jodi Scholes. I am your instructor for the MBLEx review course. We are here specifically studying for the massage and bodywork licensing exam. Yep. What are we studying today? We are studying navigating the body. Yeah, navigating the body. This is the first class in our 12 session series. This is the class that's foundational. This is a class that orients you to the body, helps you kind of during your MBLEx. It's going to be that starting point that you come back to when you have questions about anatomy, about movement, kinesiology, about the physiology. This is going to give you the basis for that movement, for that understanding. All right, so before we get started with navigating the body, well, let me explain. We do class in three parts. Three parts. And that is, first part is a test-taking strategy. So, as many of you have found, this is not, passing the MBLEx is not just about your knowledge. It's about your strategy. So I share with you some strategy in the beginning to help you further understand the test. Next, we move into our learning. Yay. And then after we're done learning, we're going to apply that learning and we're going to dissect some questions. Yeah. So we're going to cover questions that are very similar to MBLEx questions, but we're going to pull them apart. We're going to dissect those questions. We're going to assess the answers. We're going to eliminate a wrong answer, up to 2 wrong answers. And then we're going to pick the best answer. All right, you ready to get started? Yeah. So I'm going to start right off by sharing my screen. All right. Welcome to Navigating the Body. The test-taking strategy I want to share with you today is to do meaningful homework. Okay? So what is meaningful homework? Meaningful homework means that you go in with an intention. A lot of times when you guys first get here, you've got like books everywhere, notebooks, school books, and that's awesome. I love that you have gathered all your resources. Now it's time to take it up a notch and have a strategy for what you're studying every week. In this course, we go in 12 sessions. So we used to say 12 weeks, and you're more than welcome to follow along with us week by week. Let us be the one who kind of guides you week by week what you're studying. But for some of you, you got the MBLEx in 30 days or in 2 weeks, and you may need to move through these 12 sessions faster. Good news coming. You can do that and still watch live classes on these topics. Wait and see. So this particular picture was posted on March 31st in our community, in the Patreon community, and it walks you through what we're doing each week over the next 12 weeks. Now, again, you can go through these faster if you need to. However, each Monday, and it's based on your content outline. So I just wanted to mention that our study, we go through 44 classes every year. Crazy, right? I know. All of those classes are based on the Federation's content outline. So when we post this lesson, I will post also an attachment that is this content outline. You can find it at fsmtb.org. You can see that down here. But these are the 7 categories that they tell us are going to be on the MBLEx. And they tell us exactly what you need to know. And it's a lot. But again, you've got good news coming. Are you ready? Okay. So each Monday, Tara posts what we're studying that week. So you can take that deeper dive into the topic. This week is navigating the body. So you can see this on Mondays. Again, it's posted in the Patreon community as an announcement. So here we are. This is week 1 of our 12-week session. You see that here. On Monday, you can review navigating the body. Tuesday, take a practice exam. Wednesday, review the test questions that you had trouble with, or all of them. Thursday, you have the option to attend the live session. Friday, go back to navigating the body. Review it. We're going to cover a lot of material today. Your hair's going to be blown back. You're going to be, what I mean by that is whoosh, like, wow, that was a lot. So go back over it tomorrow. Saturday, take a practice exam. And then Sunday, you can review the questions. So if you're studying 3 days a week, you're going to have to squish some of this into going to have to squish these multiple days into one day. But you have a guide. You have a study guide. What I ask is that when you study, that you set aside at least 2 hours for each of your study sessions. That's taking a practice exam. It's for review. Set aside at least 2 hours and potentially get out of your space. We saw Miss V at the library today. She's at the library attending class. So cool. No distractions, right? So set yourself up for no distractions. The Zoom link for your virtual sessions, so for these sessions, is in Patreon. You all found it today. It's posted as an announcement Thursday morning. This link is the same for the next 11 weeks. Yeah, made it easy. Just put it in your calendar. Put it in your phone. And then what is your MBLEx date? Do you have a date? You've shared it with us. We have it as a part of your records. But if you are less than 30 days, if you are less than 3 months away, you may move through these 12 sessions faster. That's A-okay, because guess what? We've got some new news for you. So after this, so tomorrow you'll study navigating the body. Saturday, you'll take a practice exam. I wanted to mention, though, there's 2 practice exams in there. One is an MBLEx simulation exam. The other is a practice exam with immediate feedback. Up until now, not everybody had both of those. If you were a bronze member, you had only the simulation exam. And now, the breaking news is gold, silver, and bronze all have the practice exam now with immediate feedback. We just found it such a useful tool to prepare you for the MBLEx that we wanted everybody to have it. So, as you can tell, the practice exam with immediate feedback is an exam that you take, and after every question, you will know if you got it right or wrong. You will be able to see the rationale. If there's a question in there that you just don't understand, you can screenshot it and ask us about it in the direct message board. Yeah, I'm going to do one thing here. So ask us about it in the direct message board. The simulation exam, MBLEx simulation exam, simulates the MBLEx. You can't go back and change an answer. You can't skip a question. And it gives you no immediate feedback. Okay? So, depending on where you are, like if you're taking the MBLEx in a couple of weeks, go for the simulation exams. We need you to simulate your experience for the MBLEx. How do you know when you're ready? You know you're ready when you can take that MBLEx simulation exam, not the one with immediate feedback, the simulation exam, and you pass it with a 70 or better, and you pass it 3 times. That is the goal. Pass that simulation exam 3 times with a 70 or better and under 2 hours. Now, some of you might be freaking out a little. Freakouts are normal. It's what you do during the freak out that you get to learn. For some of you, you have your MBLEx in less than 12 weeks, and you're going to need to move through those sessions faster. Guess what? Our amazing operations manager, Tara, found a way and executed this. You now have 2024 live class library, silver, gold, and bronze. All of you. You have a new section on your dashboard called 2024 Live Class Library, and you have 44 live classes in there. Now, they were always available to you on Patreon, right? You could go and you could find, oh, I need skeletal system. Oh, I need pathology. And you could search for it on Patreon, and all of our pathology classes would come up. Tara added it to your dashboard. Yay! So you now have that on your dashboard as well. So more resources for you. Yes, to watch, to look at dissecting questions. So you have it in both places now. The Patreon community with the search box and on your dashboard. So you're welcome. All right. We're moving into our learning. So anatomical position. Please take a look. For the rest of your massage career, when we talk about movement, whether we're talking about it in this class, MBLEx review, or you're talking about it in your continuing ed classes, all movement begins and comes back to anatomical position. So anatomical position is standing, feet hip width apart, arms to the side, palms and head facing forward. So the orientation is forward. This is your frame of reference for, like it says here, the rest of your clinical lives. When you are talking about movement, when you're taking the MBLEx, you start from anatomical position. So it will give you a movement, and you're like, okay, where am I in space? You are in anatomical position. Arms by your side, a little out, hands facing forward, toes pointing forward. And I will bring you back to this when we do our dissecting of the questions today, because this is a very important part of understanding movement. Okay, we got a lot going on. So, anatomical position. From anatomical position, we have a few terms that you're going to need to know. Medial is closer to the midline of the body. Lateral is farther from the midline of the body. Superior, above. If you have a superior at work, they are above. They are supervising, right? Superior is up. Inferior, down. Proximal and distal. These are normally used to describe long bones of the body. The humerus, the femur, the tibia, radius ulna. They all have a proximal and distal end. So proximal is normally higher or closer to the midline. So higher or closer to the midline, depending on the position of the bone. Distal is further away. Distance, right? In the distance. Distal. Farther away, lower or farther away from the midline of the body. So lower is distal, higher is proximal. If the bone is flat, is if it's at 90 degrees, we do it this way, it's the one closer to the midline of the body. Yeah, up the arm or up the leg. All right, looks like we might have a question. All right, we're going to get to angles here next. So planes of movement. Oh, what's the angle? 45 degrees is the angle. So it's about 45 degrees right here is the angle, the degree of the angle. This would be 90, so 45 degrees. All right, planes of movement. Sometimes you see this on the MBLEx and you'll never use it again. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you'll use it again, but very unlikely. So the planes of movement, we're going to see two slides on this. So we've got our sagittal. So that divides us left and right. It's all of the sagittal plane is straight through us. I like to say if you are riding on a saddle, that is the sagittal plane, divides us left and right. But that sagittal plane, you'll see with the movements coming up. So the planes of movement sometimes do come up on your MBLEx questions. We've also got, so sagittal is here, this blue line. Frontal is also called coronal. It separates front from back, anterior from posterior, and then transverse. This is also called the horizontal plane. So horizontal, if you see the horizon, it is on the horizontal plane, the transverse plane. Yep, and so that'll also separate us top from bottom. But we're going to see a few words that have transverse in it, and we'll use them in a sentence so that you understand. But the horizontal plane, if you get asked about the transverse or horizontal plane, yes, right here. So I'll also demonstrate horizontal AB and AD deduction when we get there, okay? Because we're moving in that horizontal plane or that transverse plane. So you can see I'm doing it, but I'll do it again later. Okay. Directions, we got superior and inferior. We got cranial and caudal. We'll see another slide on that momentarily, but here's cranial and caudal usually have to do with the cranium and the tailbone. And normally cranial and caudal are only used with animals. You probably won't see that on the MBLEx, just saying. Cranial though, head, caudal, tailbone. Think sacrum, coccyx, tailbone. Okay, not bottom of the feet, but tailbone. Wanted to show you one more time the sagittal plane, the transverse or horizontal plane, and then the frontal or the coronal plane. As mentioned, cranial and caudal. And with animals, and we'll see that this is the dorsal surface, the spine, and sometimes you'll see the word ventral. And that has to do ventral, like we have ventral affib, you may have heard of ventral affibulation. Ooh, saying that very badly. And yeah, ventral is normally in the front or towards the heart. Yeah. So on a person, the dorsal surface would be the backbone, posterior, and the ventral surface would be in the front. All right. Quick nod to the energy system of the body. You will need to know chakras. So you will need to know color and location of these chakras. We do another series on energy medicine. And we do another series on energy medicine that's more in depth. But the foundation, again, navigating the body, the foundational information you need to know is the location and the color with the name. So, chakras describe energy within the body, energy centers. In traditional Chinese medicine, this energy center is said to regulate the organ that it's closest to. So, in the case of the heart chakra, green is the color of the heart chakra. Don't ask me why. Just works out that way. But you will need to know heart chakra location right in the sternum and its color. Here's a few more. So let's take a closer look at this. You start at the root chakra. This is where caudal comes into play. The root chakra starts at your tailbone and is that root, that undersurface, that pelvic undersurface. That is our root chakra, red. The sacral chakra is at the sacrum. And if you were to put a pencil or a pen straight through your sacrum and it came out the front, so straight through the sacrum, and it was to come out the front, that is about where, just about maybe an inch or two below your belly button, that is where the sacral chakra lives, under the umbilicus, the belly button. The solar plexus, which is yellow, sacral chakra, orange, yellow, solar plexus, green heart. Throat chakra is sky blue, chakra number 5. Third eye is indigo, a dark blue, dark blue, indigo. And then violet or purple is the crown chakra. And I'll put this in the chat, and it might be easy for you to remember, but there's an acronym for this, for the colors, and that is Roy G. Biv. And you're like, what is that? Roy G. Biv. Well, you'll want to remember that young man's name or that gentleman's name. Roy G. Biv. Roy, R-O-Y. Red, orange, yellow. G, green. Biv, blue, indigo, violet. It comes up on the MBLEx. Just saying. All right. Next, we're going to just look at the regions of the body. The axillary region, the brachial region, here in the upper arm, the supraclavicular region, supra, right? Supra, superior, up. We've got cubital and antecubital to describe our elbows. Femoral region, part of the femur. Patellar region. On the spine, we've got cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, 4 regions of the spine. We've got the pelvic region, gluteal. Popliteal might be new to you. Popliteal is behind the knee, an endangerment site. And then we've got the plantar and the dorsal parts of the foot. So with the hand, we have a palm region and we have a dorsal region. On the foot, we've got a dorsal region of the foot and we have the plantar region of the foot. A little bit different side to side. And remember that the dorsal fin of a dolphin or the dorsal fin of a shark. Yeah. Dorsal fins, dorsal surface. top. So you can imagine that little dolphin fin on the top of your foot. That's the dorsal surface, or on your hand, the dorsal surface. Okay, I know. Bear with me. It, it all comes together. Few bony landmarks here, a few names: iliac crest, glutes, glute maximus, the coccyx. So we have the sacrum right here above the coccyx. This is called the gluteal fold. Sometimes asked about in draping, gluteal cleft, gluteal fold. So maybe it asked about that with draping techniques. Got the hammies, hamstring tendons attach here. Yeah. The erector spinae group. Just this is again general regions. We're not looking at the exact muscles of the glute max. We're just looking at the region. An ankle may be a pathology called blank. Careful. Go to St. Louis, go to the ball game, right? Get to the region of the body, get to the specific part of the body, read the question. Pain in the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle may be called a pathology, maybe a pathology called what? A, Achilles tendonitis. B, plantar warts. C, plantar fasciitis. D, Morton's neuroma. Pain in the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle may be a pathology called what? Let's eliminate one wrong answer. There's a distractor in there. Plantar warts? No, we're not talking about warts. Warts might be painful, but no. And plantar warts do happen on the foot, but distractor. Okay. Pain in the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle may be a pathology called A, Achilles tendonitis, B, plantar fasciitis, D, Morton's neuroma. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Dantasia, good. Padithia, yes. iPhone 105, nailed it. Good. Tinker, no question marks. Commit. First answer comes to your head, don't change. Mm-hmm. 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 Pain in the posterior compartment of the foot or ankle. Before I give you the best answer, I would like you to touch the area we're talking about. I'd like you to touch it. If there was pain in the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle, best answer, Achilles tendonitis. A, Achilles tendonitis. We were all over the map there. Yes, I know you second guessed yourself, didn't you? You thought, okay, wait, where is the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle? I didn't say the bottom. I didn't say the plantar surface. I said the posterior compartment of the foot and ankle. Did you put your hand on your Achilles tendon? Can you see how that would be the posterior compartment of your foot and ankle? Mm-hmm. 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 I know. I know. I see those faces. Yep. Yep. Okay, good. Next question. All right, 2 more questions. Here we go. What of the coxal joint moves the femur? Okay, blank of the coxal joint moves the femur away from the midline of the body. Blank of the coxal joint moves the femur away from the midline of the body. A, adduction. B, abduction. C, flexion. D, extension. Blank of the coxal joint. So what movement of the coxal joint moves the femur away from the midline of the body? A, adduction. B, abduction. C, flexion. D, extension. 3, 2, 1, go. Ooh, 10 brave souls. Let's see. Yay. All right. Milana, yes. Tia, yes. Yulia, yes. Dantasia, good. iPhone 15, yep. Brenda got it. Lek got it. Tinker, yes. Petithia, yes. Carrie, yes. Jodko, yes. Milana, yes. Maria, yes. Excellent. Femur, away. Not flexion. Best answer? Boom. Abduction. You guys all got it. Bang. You knew coxal joint actually meant hip joint. You thought of the femur and away from the midline of the body. Abduction, away from the midline. Good job. Yay! Finish line. We went a little long today, but I'm learning how to adjust my part 2 of class, learning, with part 3 of class, dissecting questions, because overwhelmingly you've been giving us feedback that you'd love more dissecting of the questions. So we did more today. That's why we did more today. So thanks for hanging in there. And guess what? 2 hours is the time you have to take the MBLEx. Yep. So good work today in hanging in there. And let's see. And boom. Wanted to mention that the time you spent today, I love to equate your learning sessions to like these bricks. It's another brick in the wall of your solid foundation. Every hour matters. Meaningful homework was where we started today. Yeah. And meaningful homework is where we'll come back to today. Yeah. Thanks for hanging in there. I'm going to wind down the recording. I'm going to hang out for a little while with these folks to see if you got questions about what we've covered. I'll sign off by saying my name is Jodi Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEx review course. Happy to host every Thursday, 12 o'clock Eastern. 12 o'clock Eastern. We have our MBLEx review class. Thanks for being here. Thanks also for making the time to invest in yourself. And by doing so, invest in a profession I love, and that is massage therapy. Thanks so much. And we'll see you again next week. See you again real soon.